mutilation of an animal. In the pictures, you could see where the cords bit into his ankles and wrists as he rocked and convulsed in the aftershock of what was happening to him. There was the dark residue of old blood all over the place, from a knife. Or at least that's what Mickey thought after reading the coroner's report. Someone had sliced and hacked at Kim, and it must have gone on for some time. He had wood fragments under his nails that had been gouged up by his struggles. He had numerous small wounds all over him. You can plot the sequence of events like this by the flow of blood, which oozes and spurts out to the rhythm of the crime. I wasn't there when the cops had found him, which was just as well. The smell clings to you, and it takes a long time to dissipate, and even longer to forget. Whoever did it saved the eyes for the end. It made you shudder when you thought too much about it. They dropped hot solder into Kim's eyes, one drop at a time. It hissed and bit into his flesh, pattering around the orbit of bone, blistering the eyelids while he must have rocked and screamed and tried to escape. And slowly they sealed Kim's eyes off forever. When you looked at the pictures, it was bad. You knew it was bad, that it had taken a long time for Kim to die, and that somebody had enjoyed the process. My God, I had breathed as I looked at the crime scene shots. God's got nothing to do with this, buddy boy, my brother said. Whoever did this, Art said, is one sick fuck. Does this have anything to do with Sakura? I asked. Art sighed. Stuff like this has got its own weird logic. Could be directly connected. Could be coincidence, my brother said. But he didn't sound like he believed it. He was tortured, I said. Mickey nodded. And not just for the hell of it, Art added. I looked a question at him. They didn't cut his tongue out, Connor, he explained. They? He waved his hand. Figure of speech. He, she, they. It, Mickey said. Whoever did this wanted Kim to be able to talk, Art said. He was tortured for information. I looked around the warehouse. Dingy and empty now, the yellow crime scene tape an incongruous slash of color in the gray landscape. I don't think I can imagine anything worse, I said. The smell in the air here was bitter and made me feel sick. I can, Mickey told me. I squinted at him, waiting. It would be worse to have someone working on you for something and not really knowing the information they were torturing you for. We all looked at each other silently. Let's get out of here, Art said. Kim's torture and murder was not exactly a well-kept secret. The crime was more than a week old, and the word on the street was that the killing was done by a group called the Street Ghosts. Mickey and Art hooked up with a female officer named Roth, who worked the Queens North Bureau for the NYPD and tried to keep up with groups like the Ghosts. She collected whatever intelligence the PD came up with from the patrol units, the occasional tidbits from the Organized Crime Investigation Division, sorted through rap sheets and aliases, and listed the depressing statistics. She wasn't a street cop. She experienced things at one remove, but it was probably just as well. Art said later that learning about the gangs was a lot like the experience of pulling up a flat rock and being appalled by the squirming variety of life that coiled just below the surface. Roth was thick-waisted from desk life, with a short, frosted, no-nonsense hairdo and enough time on the force to know how to cut to the chase. Her desk was covered with files, neatly stacked and sorted in some arrangement only she could make sense of. She had an aging PC in one corner with yellow sticky notes stuck all around the perimeter of the screen. Her file cabinets were heavy with paper as well, and the drawers sagged when she hauled them open to look for things. Street ghosts, sure. She had continued filling out a form as she talked to my brother. What do you want to know? Art and Mickey laid it out for her. The Sakura murder, the NYU kid, an informant's suggestion of the gang as the perpetrators. Roth didn't even blink. I read about that Kim thing. Could be one of the gangs. They'll kill anyone, any time, for any reason. Pretty good motto, Mickey said to Art. Short, yet oh so descriptive, his partner answered. Roth eyed them both suspiciously. She got up and yanked a file drawer open with a grunt. She removed a thick file and a black ring binder, and they thudded onto the desk. But I haven't picked up anything that would connect this to the Sakura thing locally. She opened the binder and consulted notes. No rumble on the street so far. All you got right now is this clue from the victim Sakura? Mickey and Art nodded. Roth made a face like she had just eaten something that didn't taste good. Kinda thin, she commented. And the ghosts, we haven't heard much from them lately. Besides, they were usually a bit messier when they hit someone. How so? Mickey prompted. Roth looked up from her desk. These guys are kids, mostly. She snorted at the thought. Scary to say, but there you are. So when they do a hit, there's usually a bit more excitement. Lots of hacking and chopping, excess bullets. Usually they'll kill someone for a reason, but for them there's also a bit of thrill in it. Mickey shrugged. No surprise. Even most pros deep down are getting off on killing. Roth nodded, and when she did, it accentuated her growing double chin. The street ghosts tend to use blades in their hits. They get in the occasional shootout with other gangs, but when they really want to make a point, they use these short Chinese swords. She paused and checked a note in another loose-leaf binder she had lugged out from beneath the desk. Yeah, she nodded. Butterfly knives, they're called. No knives with Sakura, Art said, but this kid from NYU was a mess. A few years ago, I would have liked them for it, Roth said. Her eyes were brown. She looked from one man to the other, and then shrugged. The guy who led them was named Han, local kid from the Korean-American community. A freak, in and out of juvenile detention for years, sexual assault, aggravated assault, assault with a deadly weapon, extortion. A few murders we were real suspicious about, but nothing we could pin on him. The two detectives were unmoved. Most rap sheets they saw were long, sad lists of minor convictions, and in between the lines, big suspicions. He's about the size of a refrigerator, Roth commented, rooting around in a drawer and pulling out a binder of mugshots. He was into all that kung fu stuff. Ah, here he is. She turned the book around so we could see it. Han's narrow eyes glared out from the picture, the rest of his square face a rigid mask. The height markers on the wall behind him showed us he was about 6 feet 3 inches. I didn't need the help. I had seen him staring down at me as I lay in a rainy alley. Mickey saw the expression on my face. What? It's the guy who jumped me near the Dharma Center, I said. You sure, Connor? My brother asked. Oh, yeah, that's him. Big guy, Art said softly. Angry Asian male, I added. What's he doing off his turf? Mickey asked. Why's he following Tibetan monks around the city? I added. Roth looked confused. He was sent upstate for a while, she continued. Did some time and then disappeared onto the street. Haven't been able to pin anything on him for quite a while. She looked at my face. He do that to you? I nodded. Word is he's moved on to bigger and better things. Hired muscle of some sort. Ah, Art nodded sagely. A thug with ambition. Chasing the American